That's me. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here with you. I want to tell you why I'm excited to work for Ford Motor Company in the last few years. Um, Back then, 19th century, human work, human power, human achievement had been bound by our body and our muscles and our biological energy. We can go as fast as a horse can go. We can do work in our field as far as our donkey or animal that we have. We had to do laundry at the river. We were bound, we were capped by that energy. And that thing changed about two centuries ago with the Industrial Revolution. And that really changed the way we do everything in the world that we know of today. Now, specifically about transportation, which is the reason that we are all gathered here today, people used to use, as you know, horses to get from point to point, from A to B. The problem with horses at scale is that they produce, they have this problem of biology. So they have to do something with it and get the road cleared before the next wagon is coming. That's actually was a difficult problem. So in the EcoMotion of 1898, well, it's not really EcoMotion and it was not really in Tel Aviv, but in New York City, back then, 120 years ago, there was a convention, an urban planning convention, and the theme of that convention was, there's no easy way to say it, horse poop management, because that was a big issue, and the boots outside was in that business. And while New York City was planning how to mitigate that problem at scale, a few years after, several auto companies, including the one I'm working for, Ford Motor Company, started their business and really harnessing the power of the industrial age at scale to change how we move together. And in 1908, I hope that movie would work, 1908, we produced our first Model T, which is famous, as you know. The first month, we only produced 11 vehicles. 2 years after, that number was 10,000. A few years afterwards, 250,000 Model Ts left the plant, and by 1927, 15 million vehicles have left the plant in Dearborn, Michigan, basically creating a Model T every hour from plain metal within the hour. No computers, no robots, I'll remind you that. A new F-150, by the way, currently is leaving the Rouge plant every 57 seconds. So that really got improved. But harnessing the power of the industrial age at scale can change humanity. And this is what happened in transportation. Let's leap forward to the current revolution we're living in, the information revolution. We are lucky to live in that one. It is disrupting everything. This is me standing with my son, Tal, standing in Gilroy, Michigan. That's like 2 hours where I live. The statue of Claude Shannon. He wrote the paper about the theory of information, basically the math behind the zeros and ones that fuels most of what we see here in this convention, maybe giving birth to the digital age. And we are stepping into that revolution. And that revolution really, just like the industrial one, change everything, disrupt everything, every industry, politics, e-commerce, commercial, industry, warfare, and of course, transportation. And Ford is in the journey to use the exact same unleashing at scale of the industrial age into the information age. I want to give you some example because this disruption changed the relationship between a vehicle and a customer or a house. In this photo, allowing an electric F-150 to power your house on a power break for even 3 days. That's not a common thing in Israel to lose power for 3 days, but since I've lived in America for the last 2 years, it can actually happen in some cases. So new relationship between us and our vehicle. Another good example that you're already aware, and we saw some good examples today outside, is hands-free driving, currently counting 3 million miles hands-free driven throughout the United States since we launched this capability. And our ability to deliver feature, safety, comfort, new advanced capabilities for the driver over the air at scale. Again, the point I'm trying to make is if you do that on a small scale, it can be cool. If you do that on a large scale, it can change the way people move around the globe. Now, using big data and AI, as you know, it's not only within the vehicle, although it is the focus here. It can go all the way back to the production, to the power plant itself. In this example, using an AI computer vision camera in the assembly line, remember we have 57 seconds until the next car arrives on the assembly line. This computer vision ability allows us to give real-time feedback to the employee right there at the plant, identifying the sequence of action on the assembly line to allow a correction and a fix before that car would leave the assembly line and maybe marked as a quality issue. So we can prevent that, multiply by 1 million vehicles produced every quarter. That can give you a vast value creation, in this case using computer vision AI. Let's see another one. I saw some sustainability action back out there, and Ford is moving 650,000 parts around the globe in about 70 crates and freights per week. Now, those freights that are traveling overseas and land, I don't know if you know that, there is a significant amount of air that is traveling as well. Our ability to use data from the purchasing team, from the parts, from the traveling around the world constraints can create an optimization engine that can optimize the freight capacity to move exactly the right parts into the right location while reducing the air inside. This is a real example of our optimization engine running in production at scale across the globe, sea shipment and land shipment over trucks and over ships, obviously, and reducing the air to approximately 1% or 2% of the freight itself, saving a lot of money for the company, but also helping our planet stay cleaner. So just another example. I think the last one, and we saw some electrification. As you know, we're going through this electrification revolution, not only the digital revolution, and we are going all in on electrical with the Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning. And in this case, the charging ecosystem, just like the gas station ecosystem has evolved 100 years ago to create a flourishing business, that's happening right now in the charging ability. And our way as customers, as drivers, to communicate with the car, with the charging station, learn from data. In this example, real-time charging data from New York City, New York area, allowing the utility company to pick and choose where to station the charge location and how to manage the power distribution across area. This is yet to be massive because we are just now learning about charging patterns. It's happening right now. We live through that change, and we need to learn, and the best way to learn in 2022 is through data rather than through surveys and observation. And that's the way to do that at scale, and then take insights and decision about power distribution and better customer service in some cases. I think I'll leave you with those examples. I see my time running away. All of these examples and others are happening right now at large scale at all OEMs, I believe. We at Ford Motor Company believe that we can harness the power of the digital age, ride on the wave of what it can unleash, just like we did 120 years ago with the Model T that I shared with you before. And with that, I'll just thank you all for listening and wish you a good rest of your day. Thank you very much.